All right, so we are starting with seated box jumps, and I'm just going to do my seated box jumps right here. And I'm just going to do 2 reps at each mat and stack them up until I can't stack them up anymore, or until I can't jump that high. So what I have programmed for myself today for seated box jumps is 10 max reps. But as I said, because I'm going up and up and up, I'm just gonna go until I can't go anymore. But I do have to be careful because I'm the type of person that will program 10 jumps for myself, and all of a sudden that'll turn into 30. So I really do need to be smart and just stop when I can't get this, whenever we go a little higher. I need to move this back. Whoa. If you don't have boxes or mats to jump onto for your seated box jumps, you can always just jump up and touch something high. So you can sit down, or if you don't have something high to touch, you can just jump up as high as you can. The reason why I like jumping onto boxes, or in this case mats, is because especially in the taper, I want to minimize the eccentric landing of my seated box jumps, my drop jumps. Depth jumps are a little bit different because the focus is getting as high as possible, and I can't really have the intent to get as high as possible when I'm jumping onto a box. That's why I like to touch something when I'm doing my depth jumps. But your drop jumps, when the intent is get off the ground as fast as possible, you could still do that with a box. You could still do seated box jumps with a box. And yeah, the whole point is to minimize the eccentric landing, so that you don't get as many forces from jumping up and then landing on the ground, as opposed to jumping up and landing on a box. Might as well measure this while we're resting. This is a 42-inch box. Sad, bro. This is 34.5 inches. All right, so that's 5. I do feel kind of fatigued already, so. So before the volume phase and before I hurt my knee, I was actually touching the rim off of these depth jumps. Now, I don't think I'm gonna get there today. I'm actually still pretty fatigued. I don't wanna admit this, but I'm going to. I'm relatively fatigued from the volume phase and from Monday. I think 4 sets of 8 RDLs with 315 pounds. Might have been a little much for a taper, but we're gonna continue to decrease the volume as this taper goes on. But if I get anywhere close to touching the rim today, I'm gonna count that as a win. Oh, bro, that was really close. I'm actually surprised that I'm getting anywhere near this, but you all know this. You all understand this from watching my channel. But if you notice the difference between the depth jumps and the drop jumps, the floor is lava. I'm trying to get off the ground as fast as possible. With the depth jumps, it's a little bit deeper knee bend, longer ground contact time, and I'm trying to get up as high as I can. So the goal is height, whereas the drop jumps, the goal is reactive strength, quickness. Oh, I'm right there. Let me get it. Oh, that wasn't close. That was bad. Oh, that wasn't close. That was bad. But I'll take it. I'll take it. We're closer than we were last time. All right, so next up, we got sprints, and the time to beat for this distance from baseline to opposite foul line is 3.17. I lied. Volleyball is done in the big gym, so we're gonna test our 40-yard dash. All right, so the time to beat for this distance, which is a 40-yard dash, is 4.95. So let's see what we got today. All right, so on a normal day, I would keep it going. I'd probably try for one more, but since we're in a taper, I am gonna stop it there because I'm not gonna beat my PR. And the goal is not to do fatigue reps. So I probably could get one more good one, maybe two, but I'd rather just save it for Friday. So yeah, let's move on. All right, so everything today for the strength work is 4 sets of 8 reps, and I'm going to do 365 pounds. Well, it's actually a little bit less because this is not free weights. This is Smith machine, but I'm going to use 365 for 4 sets of 8. I think that should be good. I just did 315, and it was a little bit too light, so we'll stick here with it. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's workout. I had to speed things up a little bit because I have a client who's going to be here in a minute, which I might actually record that video and show you guys on the Answers for Athletes channel. It's the 6'8" high school sophomore who is, no offense if he's watching, I love you, Tamir, but he's built like a baby giraffe, right? He needs to get his legs under him. If we get him big and strong and meaty, he's definitely going to be a D1 player, but like at what level? Like, we want him to go to the highest D1 possible. But anyways, I never told you where I currently am. So I told you the two parts of the equation that you need to know are where you are right now and where you want to go. And I told you where I want to go is 210 pounds or less. Anything 210 or less by the end of March would be great. I want to be dunking off my right-left 2-foot approach and my single leg left foot approach. And I want to do that with less knee pain than I have now, or 0 knee pain. So what that looks like is I need to be able to be doing deep squats and deep chair plyos with no pain, because right now that is the last thing to go. That is the last thing to cause me pain. But where I am currently is, and I'm going to be completely honest, I woke up today at 220 pounds. Now, yesterday I was 218 pounds, so my weight does fluctuate. My nutritionist has me on high days and low days, depending on my workouts for that day. But regardless, we do have about 8 to 10 pounds to drop in 30 days, which I definitely can do. I've been having cheat meals on the weekend. Last weekend I had 2 full cheat days like a bozo. But if I just have no cheat meals from now until the end of March, then I can definitely get to 210 or less, which will help my vertical jump, will help my knee, will pretty much just be beneficial for me in every aspect. So that is where I am now. You guys know where I am dunking. The last session 2 days ago on Monday, that was a pretty poor dunk session. Like, watching that back as I was editing, I just couldn't help but think, like, how embarrassing. Like, I am the vertical jump guy without a vertical jump. Like, how embarrassing. But it's all part of the process, and when you let yourself get fat and out of shape and you don't train intensely for years and you eat everything in sight, that's what happens. And then my knee currently, I just told you about my knee. The only thing that hurts are deep tier plyometrics and deep squat jumps. Anything in a deep range of motion, whether it's slow or fast forces, it does hurt my quad tendon. So yeah, that is the last thing to go. But anyways, my client's about to be here, so love you all, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.